What? It's not done yet? It's been 3 hours since my grandmother stopped by the bank to open an account. Knowing my kind-hearted grandmother, she might be hesitant to approach the busy bank staff. So, I went to the counter on her behalf. Excuse me. Yes? The bank clerk turned around with a smile, but his attitude changed as soon as he saw me and my grandmother. Oh, it's you guys. You're persistent. Poor people have to wait. He laughed at us as if he was mocking us. I sighed deeply in frustration. If the bank clerk is going to be like that, there's nothing we can do. That's enough. I'll withdraw the remaining balance of $29 million and close the account. What? He underestimated us and was about to meet a miserable end. My name is Jose Gonzalez. Good morning, Jose. Good morning. I moved for work and am now staying at my grandparents' house. My grandparents are kind and support everything I do, which makes me really happy. While brushing my teeth, I noticed some documents on the table. Huh. I reached for one of the documents. It was related to banking. What's this, Grandma? That? I wanted to open a new account. I see. I picked up a few other documents, but they were all from suspicious or distant places. I was worried, so I recommended a certain bank to my grandmother. What about the bank I've always been using? I think it's safe there, they're polite, and I think it's okay. I look up the bank's website on my smartphone and show it to my grandmother. If Jose is in there, I feel safe. I'll go there today. Grandma, I'm worried if you go alone. Should I go with you? No, it's okay. I can't bother Jose. Saying that, my grandmother packed her things and went to the bank I told her about. Although my grandmother said so, there was one thing that worried me. It was because I was worried about my grandmother. The story goes back a few years. It was when I was out for work. Hello, it's me. Oh, Jose? What's up? Yes, this is Jose. I just bumped into an old lady on the street and injured her. So, she's asking me for medical expenses. How much do you need? It seems to be about $10,000. On her way to the bank, being instructed by someone who claimed to be me, my grandmother apparently met my grandfather. And my grandfather, who had doubts, contacted me. Oh, Grandpa. Yeah. What? That's not me. Yeah, say this to Grandma for me. Thanks to my grandfather, we were able to avoid the scam, but at that time we were very worried. Not only that day but also my grandmother is a so-called good person or vague person who easily believes in people, and I was very worried. Grandma, are you really okay? While worrying about it, I went off to work. Amidst my worries, my grandmother visited the bank counter. Welcome. My name is Davis. What can I do for you today? Well, I want to open a new account and deposit $100. My grandmother seemed to have talked to a bank clerk named Davis like that, but he looked at her with a puzzled face. Although my grandmother called out several times, she was only ignored. Yes. Oh no, not you again. Davis seemed to have looked at her and laughed through his nose. I want to open a bank account. Poor people are put on the back. My grandmother was treated with a condescending attitude by Davis. My grandmother spoke to Davis, who had spoken to her first, several times, but she was always dismissed and had to wait for the procedures of the wealthy people to be completed first. She went to the counter many times, but she was mostly ignored and seemed to have been made to wait for 3 hours. That old lady is annoying. Poor people should go home quickly. Davis seemed to have been annoyed with my grandmother many times. Is it not ready yet? Well, yes, it seems to take a while. Is that so? My grandmother is kind, so no matter what she is told, she thinks it's her fault and she kept talking to the counter when it didn't seem busy. Grandma, I wonder if she's okay. During work, I was worried about my grandmother and called home just in case. The person who answered the phone was my grandfather. According to my grandmother had not returned yet. She hasn't returned yet? Yeah. I see. See you later. I finished work early and headed to the bank where my grandmother was. Could it be that Grandma didn't know how to open an account? Was there something wrong with the bank? I was thinking about various things while walking. Welcome. Customer, what can I do for you today? Sorry for the late introduction, my name is Davis. When I arrived at the bank, a male bank clerk approached me with a smile. Davis, whose name was written on his name tag, had a smile on his face but his eyes were not smiling. Maybe he thought this customer seemed to have money, so he seemed to be a high priority. No, I don't have any business. While ignoring the man named Davis's talk, I looked around for my grandmother. Oh, Grandma. I ran up to my grandmother. Jose. Shit. As soon as Davis saw my grandmother and me, he clicked his tongue and sighed. Don't show off. You're just wearing an expensive suit. He looked down on me with a contemptuous expression and left the place. What's with that bank clerk? He has a bad attitude. While wondering about Davis, the bank clerk who had just dealt with me, I sat down with my grandmother for a moment. Grandma, it's late, but what happened? Well, I haven't been able to open a bank account yet. What? You haven't made it yet? I've been saying it many times, but they don't take me seriously. I think it's because I don't understand. Is that so? Can you tell me what happened? When I asked my grandmother, it seemed that Davis, who had a bad attitude earlier, was not very cooperative, and she had been waiting for 3 hours. It was a mystery why he didn't deal with her so much for just one bank account. When I made it, it should have been smooth and the response was good. I wonder if that person is no longer here. I looked around for a bank clerk named Smith. What's wrong, Jose? No, it's nothing. I see, I should have gone with you from the beginning. So I muttered and went to the counter again. Excuse me. Yes? Oh, it's you again? You're poor and persistent. Please sit over there. Davis turned around and changed his attitude as soon as he saw my face. I want to open a bank account. Please. I've told you many times, I'll call you when it's your turn, so please wait. But my grandmother has been waiting since earlier. Well, I think it's natural to wait in a bank. He laughed as if he was making fun of me. No matter how many times I tried to negotiate with him, he wouldn't listen to me and I was disgusted with the bank clerk. It seems useless to say anything to you, so it's enough. That's what we should be saying. We don't have time to pay attention to just you guys. Hearing those words, I sighed deeply. I see. Then, I will withdraw the deposit balance of $29 million and cancel the account. What? So, I'm saying that I'm going to withdraw the deposit balance of $29 million and cancel the account. If you don't have time, I'm sorry to take up your time. Davis was taken aback by my words. It's a bluff, huh? Davis pointed at me and laughed while shaking. If you think it's a bluff, you can check the account. When I handed him my passbook, he started checking my account. The bank clerk looked at me with a stunned expression. It's just a bluff, the poor man is just showing off. He must have checked my account because he started screaming. It's a lie. This is definitely a lie. Surprised by his scream, the people around were buzzing with, "What?" Davis came back to the reception desk shaking like a newborn deer. Sorry for the wait. He put down the passbook while shaking his body. How was it? Was it my bluff after all? I peered into Davis's face, which was looking down. No. Davis was sweating from his forehead and his voice was hoarse. The branch manager, Mr. Smith, appeared from the back, probably hearing Davis's commotion earlier. What happened? Oh, this is Mr. Gonzalez, hello. Hello, branch manager, Mr. Smith. Did Davis make a blunder by any chance? Smith asked me in a flustered manner. I explained to branch manager Smith that the bank clerk named Davis had kept my grandmother waiting for 3 hours and that he was changing his attitude depending on whether people were rich or not. Davis turned pale and looked down with his hands clenched tightly. The branch manager glared at the male bank clerk after hearing my story. Davis, what do you mean? I don't remember telling you to treat customers like that. That's not me, well. No excuses are necessary. You go back inside. Mr. Gonzalez will be handled by me. The once arrogant Davis shrank his body and grumbled a little before leaving the scene slowly. I apologize for showing you such an unsightly scene. No, it's not your fault, Mr. Smith. I owe you a lot from the past. This goes back to a story from a few years ago. I was working as a regular corporate employee, but I didn't feel fulfilled. When I turned 27, I had juniors and was able to climb up to the position of section chief because I was said to be good at my job. The expectations from the company were also pressure for me. Well, I thought there might be such a life when I heard a phrase on TV. Your life is decided by the age of 30, such casual words on TV entered my ears, and I was looking for what I wanted to do by buying books. It's not that I wanted to be a salaryman and become a working adult. So, I wasn't dissatisfied with my current life, but I was a little anxious. So, I decided to quit my company and start my own business. At that time, the person who lent me money was Mr. Smith, who was in charge of this bank at the time. I didn't know right from left, but when I told him what I wanted to do, he gladly accepted it. There were few places that would deal with me as I went around various banks, and it was with great difficulty that I arrived at this branch. At that time, Smith warmly welcomed me. I see. A business dealing with overseas products, right? Yes, that's right. I sweated a little and gulped down my saliva. I remember this time well. I was so nervous that I felt suffocated. Staring at Mr. Smith as he goes through the documents. There was a readiness to be rejected again. I see, it's nice to have an overseas business. It's stimulating to see people chasing their dreams like that. And it makes me want to support them. I will never forget the kind words Mr. Smith gave me. I thought this branch where this person who supported me so much could be trusted. Thanks to this bank and Mr. Smith, I was able to start an overseas business and grow to this point. And now back to the present. It's been about 3 years since then. Yes, if Smith hadn't helped me that day, I don't think I would have been able to succeed as much as I have now. My company imports products from several overseas companies and has increased its employees. And not to brag, but I'm making much more than Davis earlier. This might be thanks to the words on TV that day. We'll go home for today. As for the bank account, I'll discuss it with my grandmother again. So my grandmother and I went back home. The next day, a phone call came to our house. I'll get it, Grandma. Yes, hello? Oh. The call was from branch manager Smith. He wanted to apologize for yesterday and said he would like to visit our house. Yes, understood. Both my grandmother and I are here now. Yes, then see you. And then, 15 minutes later, the doorbell rings. I thought that Davis, the bank clerk who was with us yesterday, would be with us for the apology, but when I opened the door, only branch manager, Mr. Smith, was standing there. Since he wanted me to call my grandmother as well, I let him into the room and then went to call my grandmother. Sorry to keep you waiting, it's just a simple tea. I'm sorry to have bothered you. So, what brings you here today? I started the conversation. Actually, Mr. Smith started talking and the atmosphere became a little heavy. We apologize for our mistake. Smith apologized with all his heart. Mr. Smith. When I said that, he slowly raised his head with an apologetic look. According to the branch manager, Davis, the bank clerk who served us the other day, was fired. It seems that he was putting off customers who looked poor. He was improving his performance by dealing only with customers who looked rich, but there were many bad reviews on SNS and other places about this issue. The problem had come up several times in morning meetings and other meetings, but because it was anonymous, it was not possible to determine who was responsible and no action could be taken. At that time, branch manager Mr. Smith saw me and Davis arguing and reported the problem to his superiors. And because he had caused considerable damage to the company, he was fired as of yesterday. We apologize for causing you great inconvenience due to our failure. We are sorry for making you feel uncomfortable. Then, my grandmother patted branch manager Smith on the shoulder. Branch manager. Thank you for coming all this way. I was talking with Jose yesterday and we decided that we can trust your bank after all. That person probably had his own circumstances too, so I don't mind. Hearing my grandmother's words, branch manager, Mr. Smith had tears in his eyes. I'll go with her too, so can we ask for account procedures again? Yes, gladly. Thank you. After that, I accompanied my grandmother and successfully opened a bank account. Thanks to the branch manager, I felt relieved even though there were various things going on. I had some bad feelings, but I realized here how important it is to have relationships with people. I'm living a normal life with my grandparents again. Grandma, Grandpa, I'm off. Yes, take care. I'm happy that my grandparents are still smiling as usual. I decided to build a trustworthy relationship not by judging people by their money but by getting along well.